Royal Rumble 2025 review. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, the biggest PLE, I guess, biggest event that we've had on this podcast.
Yes.
Since we started doing it. And also, before we get started, thank you to everybody who tuned into our live stream. Insane. I don't even know the words.
Yeah.
So thank you to each and every one of you that did that. And as for Rumble, I mean, we're officially on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, we are. And I want to say thank you as well. Thank you to everybody who donated. We had t-shirts to give away. It was a fun time. So just be sure if you're watching this, join in on our live streams for Mondays and Fridays and PLEs because we have a damn good time and we have a phenomenal community. But let's get right into it because we started with the Royal Rumble with the Women's Royal Rumble match. And as you all know, I like to kind of, how we do it on this channel is break down the matches and try to give our best breakdowns of what happened. Well, this is a Royal Rumble, so this is our first roundabout of doing this. Bear the hell with me on this one. But
yeah, it's going to be a little tough.
It's a little tough, but we had some good stuff. Io Sky and Liv Morgan start the match. I said in our prediction that I thought Liv Morgan would be one of the first two. Io Sky, that was something.
Yeah, somebody that had Io as the winner.
Yeah.
That music hit, and I went, oh no. Like right away, there goes my prediction out of the water. But you look at those in terms of those two can go. I know Liv's maybe a little bit more underrated. Maybe people don't give the credit to her she deserves, but great first two to start it out.
If I'm looking down a lot, it's because I got a lot to look down at. Roxanne Perez would quickly be in at number 3. Wanted to see her, was hoping to see her. When I saw her at 3, I was like, holy shit, all right, they're full sending this. But they would immediately let Roxanne put on a show. I mean, you're in the ring with Liv Morgan and Io Sky. They did their job selling because they're the best in the world at what they do. Lyra Valkyria comes in at number 4, Chelsea Green at number 5, and B-Fab at number 6. Rumble's already stacked. I mean, you got your freaking IC Women's Champion, your US Women's Champion, your previous World Heavyweight Champion, same with EO, and then you have BFAB, who is, on the up and coming. Good stuff was happening here. But basically, everybody would start teaming up on Chelsea Green because one by one, she pissed them all off, right? Ivy Nile would then come into the ring, and she obviously is feuding or starting to feud with Lyra Valkyria. So she starts to go after Lyra right away. She does a German suplex to Roxanne and Chelsea Green at the same time. Ivy Nile's a pit bull. She's pretty dang cool. Zoe Stark, speaking of little people that can absolutely do damage, she comes in at number 8, and she does a top rope corkscrew neck breaker to Chelsea Green. She's good at wrestling, and so is everybody on this ring.
Until she slipped a little later on, but that's okay.
She did go for her patented springboard missile drop kick that you love so much.
One of my favorite.
And that just hurt Dakota Kai, by the way. But she slipped and had to turn it into a nice
clothesline.
Nice clothesline. Yeah, she made it work. Lash Legend would come in at number 9, and she clears shop. I mean, she doesn't eliminate anybody, but she clears shop. She's big. She's awesome. She was my sleeper pick for most eliminations going into this. Chelsea would come in and eliminate B-Fab, and Bianca Belair would come out at number 10. So we're already packed with stars out the ass. And she start absolutely going to the corner, and one by one would beat up somebody, and then somebody would run into the other corner, and she'd do her backflip off the top rope. And she stacked up like 6 women in the corner, 5 women.
Yeah, I think 5 because there was Io was there. Liv was the last one that wasn't. Yeah. So you had Io, you had Liv. I don't know who else.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was a nice little cool spot.
Yeah, it really was.
I did like that.
Anyway, Shayna Baszler, the first of PFC. Second, you're right.
Put some respect
on Zoe
She's
Stark's
the
name.
F in PFC.
She is. Second of PFC was coming out. Ivy Nile here would eliminate Lyra Valkyria kind of without a lot of pop there. Like, it just sort of happened, and we were all like, oh, okay, well, that rivalry's happening, but Lyra out this early was something. PFC would start to work together, so Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler were starting to get at it. Bayley comes in at 12, and then at number 13, Sonya Deville completes the PFC domination, like Thanos getting his last Infinity Stone. It was time.
Somebody mentioned in our chat during the live stream, Pure Face Paint Collective.
Yeah.
Because they had some weird face paint going on.
A lot of face paint for them. I don't know who decided that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rough, but they decided you look at it at this point, and up until here you see, okay, this is the only team together. You had pointed that out, and then they get the third member. You're like, okay, PFC is going to be a strong unit here.
And they did some stuff. It is to note when Bayley entered the ring, of course, her and Roxanne had to stare down because they're going back and forth on NXT recently. And then after Bayley kind of got the upper hand on Roxanne right away, Io Sky's also in the ring. They had themselves a little stare down as well because of their past stuff. So we are working in some stuff here. But like you said, PFC is in full effect and they do start wrecking shop for a little bit. But Maxine Dupree comes in at number 14 and she gets a caterpillar right away onto Ivy Nile because Ivy Nile's been mean to her. You know, American Made's been mean to the Alpha Academy. So she needed to get her beat back. But then when that happens, PFC gets behind Maxine Dupree and wants to cause some drama, but Bianca Belair and Naomi, they ain't having that. So they start to go in on them. Because Naomi just came into the ring, by the way. She was number 15. PFC all get eliminated at this moment. And after they get eliminated, Jada Parker comes back in the ring. So 2 people from NXT that we really thought were going to make it, Roxanne and Jada so far, in the ring looking good. And Lash Legend. Yeah,
and I think at this point, right before that, Maxine, I think, eliminated Ivy. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And then PFC got the ceremonial throw of Maxine over, and everybody's like, damn you, PFC.
Yeah, I think it was Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley ended up being the ones taken out.
Yeah, they each took out. I mean, those are 3 heavy hitters, to be fair. Yeah. But the crowd loved PFC getting eliminated. They absolutely loved it.
R.I.P. PFC. Anyway, Naomi and Bianca and Lash Legend, they would all kind of team up on Chelsea Green, but Chelsea would end up eliminating Lash Legend, which is pretty nice. And when that happened, they'd all get mad at Chelsea Green. Piper Niven, Secret Hervis comes out to help, and Piper and Chelsea would start to stare down Bianca and Naomi, but Chelsea, that's a hard fight, so she runs away and gets onto the apron, and Piper actually takes them on and succeeds. Piper looks very, very, very strong here, but they would get close to the rope, and Piper would go to hit Naomi. Naomi moves, and Piper Niven eliminates Chelsea Green. Not very good Secret Hervis right there. We're probably going to address that next week. And then the pop of the night, Natalia's out at 18. Yeah, I'll move on. Jordynne Grace comes out at number 19, which is very great to see. We all were kind of expecting her, but all week she was doing the whole, I'll be in Austin, Texas with my mom. Bullshit, Jordynne Grace. Thank you for showing up. Glad to see you. We love it. But she clears house. She ends up eliminating Jada Parker kind of unceremoniously, which I was kind of disappointed of. I wanted Jada Parker to have a little bit better of a show.
You are a big Jada girl.
I am. Jordynne Grace would do a Death Valley driver to Piper Niven, and it was insane. She made it look way too easy. Piper's a big girl. Wow. She would end up, Jordynne Grace and Naomi, obviously they had a little, they have good history with each other, and they would give each other a hug. And when they hugged, Bianca Belair was like, the hell you doing hugging somebody else? We're in the middle of the Royal Rumble, focus. And Bianca would actually get mad and go after Jordynne Grace. So I don't know if that is something to look after. But
I mean, we always talk about, we always talk about dream matches, and like Bianca Rhea comes up, and I think Jordan and Rhea maybe comes up. I mean, when that is so evident on screen there, you're like, yeah, give me Bianca and Jordynne Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, give me that.
You're kidding me? Michelin would come out at number 20. She goes after Piper Niven because the Chelsea Green stuff. And
there was a hell drop kick.
And then the pop of the Royal Rumble, probably both Royal Rumbles, honestly. Alexa Bliss makes her return at number 21. She's rocking a jacket, and on the back, she turns around. It says Fiend Forever. A great shout out to Bray Wyatt there, to the Fiend character. And she was fantastic to see. I am so happy she's back, man.
Yeah, you kind of really can't put that into words.
No.
You were a proponent, or you thought like, hey, there's no way she comes back.
Nope.
I was like, oh no, I think these are smoke screens. Like and it more so was like just blind faith. Like I just hope she comes back, because everybody misses Alexa, especially the time away. Everybody's just like, some people maybe didn't like her when she was there, but the time so far away, you're like, damn, just come back, just come back, just come back. And like you said, probably pop of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, the surprise at 21, just the cool jacket. She didn't miss a beat. I mean, she looked great.
Yeah, 100%. She looked absolutely fantastic. More on her in a little bit. Zelina Vega come out at 22. Candice LeRae at 23. Stephanie Vicar at 24. So we're getting some good names that we didn't think we'd see in the ring. Trish Stratus, to join that name, comes out at 25. And we're getting down to the final 5, and we're going, okay, what's going to be the big curveball here?
25 years.
25 at
Just
25
made that-
years.
I just
Son
made
of a
that connect in my
bitch.
head.
I mean, I am.
Yep.
Raquel comes out at 26. We both thought that was going to be more of a storyline throughout the entire match. We thought that Liv and Raquel were going to have more of a play just throughout the whole thing. Be a team, Raquel doing the dirty work throughout the entire match. Raquel doesn't end up showing up till number 26, but when she does, they do end up teaming pretty strong here. They do all their patented, Raquel's power slamming Liv onto Naomi and Bianca, who are stacked up on each other, looking really good here. They eliminate Natalya, so thank you, Liv. Liv would then eliminate Alexa Bliss during a scuffle on the outside. I know, we just talked about Alexa Bliss like 60 seconds ago, how big her was. Didn't last very long. Liv does end up eliminating Alexa Bliss. And eventually there's a spot, and I'll just get it out of the way. Liv Morgan does not win this, but that whole Liv Alexa Bliss thing, we're talking about what Liv Morgan's going to do at WrestleMania. She doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, that sounds pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, we'd kind of, I guess, penciled in Liv in terms of tag titles. I think this showing for the Rumble, them to have them so far separate and to have Liv go on her own for most of the match and then her eliminating Alexa, you're like, oh, they're not done with her being a singles person.
Yep.
They're done. They're not going to just push her into the tag division, which I think is huge. We talk about the women's tag division, especially being so stacked. I mean, there's just a ton of teams anyway, so you can really kind of put almost whoever, no disrespect to that, but you could just throw whoever at those tag titles. But Liv and Alexa Bliss, I mean, that feeds families, that prints money. I mean, that's a feud I want to see. That's a feud that I would love to see. Both in the ring, on the mic, they can both go at it. Both former world champs. I mean, what else do you need?
That screams classic, we don't need a belt. Let's just have a good old-fashioned feud where we rip each other to shreds on the mic in promos, and then we end it on the biggest stage just for bragging rights, one-on-one. Give me Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. Just sign me up. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and we didn't need Alexa to be that long. Like,
no.
you got the impact of the return, and then you don't need her to be out there super long because now everybody's like, well, damn it, I want to see more Alexa. Give me more Alexa.
And then the moment happened. Number 27, the moment we had all been waiting for. Charlotte Flair does make a return. She's been having these pop-up promos for the last few weeks on SmackDown. They didn't make it a surprise for anybody, which we were kind of against. We all kind of knew it was coming, but just like, let the moment come instead of spoil it on SmackDown a few weeks ago for a couple dumb promos, in my opinion. But she does come out and immediately you're like, okay, well, Charlotte Flair has some damn good aura. She gets pyro.
The temperature in the room goes up. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. Like you feel it. You get the pyro. She just has this like, okay, everybody like. It almost felt like a game before. Then now Charlotte steps up and you're like, oh.
She's walking in the ring and, the question's always like, does she still have it? She's coming off an injury. It's been a while.
She's got a knee brace.
She's got a knee brace on. Well, she immediately eliminates Misha and goes to the top rope, does a crossbody to Vakar and Jordan Grace, and then she eliminates Piper Niven, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, she's good at wrestling. She takes after her daddy. Julia comes in at number 28. Phenomenal that we saw her. I was getting a little worried with the people who were in the ring and the end of the match coming. I was like, yes. But she comes in, eliminates Jordan Grace. That would be spectacular.
Which might end up being a thing. I mean, Jordan Grace and all those dream feuds, we think maybe you do this one short term. And then long term, you start playing in those other ones.
We have Vakar, we have Perez, and we have Julia in the ring. We do get a little NXT versus the Now women for a moment there. They do a little bit of a stare down, which is good to see. Nia comes in at number 29. She immediately eliminates Zelina. Trish Stratus ends up eliminating Candice LeRae after... Basically, after she was messing with Nia, Trish kind of just went after Candice, and Nia didn't stop her, so we're probably going to get some drama there. And then Nia would eliminate Trish Stratus. And Trish has said she wants to work with Nia, so we might get something there. Nikki Bella is your 30th entry into the Royal Rumble. And if you're in the Discord, you know that I love me some Nikki Bella. But number 30 at this Rumble, when there was so much talk about AJ Lee and Jade, which I get it, wrestling fans, we build up our own storylines, and that's not our fault, or it's not their fault when we don't get the storylines we built up in our head. Not complaining there, but like, given the roster that we currently have in the WWE for the women, just NXT and Raw overall, and SmackDown, Nikki Bella at number 30 felt like a little bit of a dud on this one. Not going to lie about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a little bit of a dud for me. Big dud.
Yeah.
Big dud for me. You talk about the stacked rosters, that spot could have gone to anybody. I mean, realistically, you could have swapped her and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Like you could have had Alexa come out at 30 even. and Nikki comes out at 21 because Nikki's a fun, feel good. Oh yeah, it's great to see her, awesome. But she comes out at 30, and you're just like, well, she's not winning.
Yeah,
I want to have the belief that whoever comes out at 30 can win it,
can win the Rumble.
I just was like, oh well, that ain't happening here.
Yeah. She goes in the ring and she starts. She looks good. She goes right after Nia, but so we're good right here. 30 was a little bit of a dud, and especially in our live stream, we got a little bit a little bit step back. It's like, okay, well, we know who's now in the Rumble. We got the 30th out of the way. We didn't really like it, but whatever. We got great talent in the ring. Then the moment of the Rumble happens that is very controversial. There's a mess happening on the apron. I mean, just a mess. And you have Liv and Raquel and Naomi and Bianca and
Io.
Yeah. I mean, do we
maybe Zelina? I don't know if Zelina was out.
Zelina was already out.
Oh, she was.
Do you listen to those names? Io, Raquel, Liv, Bianca, Naomi. 4 out of 5 of those people were in talks to win the Royal Rumble, right? Win it. And they're all over there on the side and they're fighting on the apron. Nia Jax runs over, eliminates all of them. At one time, one fell swoop, whatever you say.
Does I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Just like a running shoulder tackle, I guess. I don't know. They're all like barely holding on to the outside, and she just eliminates all of them at once. And you just go, oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, Liv, Io, and Bianca. 3 of the top 4 probably picks for most of the people gone just like that. They don't even make the top 5. Julia then right after that gets eliminated by Roxanne Perez, and then Roxanne Perez immediately followed by that gets eliminated by Nikki Bella. And we don't even have a moment of top 3 interaction here. So the final 3 end up being Nia, Charlotte, and Roxanne. And there's barely a stare down here. And at this point, everybody in our chat is like, please Roxanne, please Roxanne, please Roxanne, because that Nia spot took the wind out of the air. Ends up, Nia eliminates Roxanne. They're fighting. It's a big skull. Roxanne's giving her best shot. But then Nia gets flipped over the top by Charlotte. I believe it was either a high boot or maybe she just got flipped.
She ends up booting her, yeah.
Does she boot her? She ends up booting her over the end. Not a lot of drama at the end here. Charlotte Flair does come back, as everybody predicted almost, and win the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble. Is that the right decision by WWE?
Ah, goodness. You're putting me on the spot.
Putting you on the spot.
I'm going to say no.
Oh.
I'm going to say no here. Not in a way to disrespect Charlotte, because I think Charlotte is on your Mount Rushmore of women wrestlers, or some people think she's the greatest, and she's certainly up there. But to me, it's just kind of almost like a slap in the face of all the other women that have been putting in the time for this past year while Charlotte was hurt. And for her to just kind of come back and reassert herself into the title scene with really no character or anything. Because obviously we got a couple promos, but nothing really. So we all assume she's going after Tiffany. I guess in hindsight, I'll be okay with it if Tiffany beats Charlotte. But at this point, everything's kind of off limits. I was kind of opposed to Charlotte winning it and maybe her winning Chamber, but to have all those women taken out at one time, and then you look in the ring and you're like, well, it's Roxanne and Nikki and Nia and Charlotte, and you go, well, I know who's not winning this. I know who's probably going to win this now. And you're just like, oh, okay, well, it is Charlotte Flair. Charlotte must pose sort of thing. That's what you get.
I'll preface it by saying I love Charlotte Flair. I acknowledge her as being the best in-ring performer ever, maybe. It's debatable, but she's up there. It was a combination of her just doing some promo videos that meant nothing over the past couple weeks, and then that paired with who the final 4 in the ring ended up being. Like you said, it was Nikki, it was Nia, it was Roxanne, and it was Charlotte. And I love Roxanne. She wasn't winning this. I love Nikki. She wasn't winning this. And I think Nia probably deserved it the most out of those 4, but she's had a title reign this year and she's had title shots since then. It felt very obvious that Charlotte was winning. And I don't like it necessarily because I do think the women had such a spectacular year, and there were so many women who I feel like are this close, and a Rumble win would have really put them into a different stratosphere. So giving Charlotte the Rumble felt like a bad decision, even though I think Charlotte should have won something on the way to Mania to still end up in a title scene against Tiffany.
Yeah, I had it to where I thought Charlotte was going to win Chamber.
Yeah.
And that way you kind of have Charlotte come back after the Rumble and be like, look how great I am. I'm still amazing. I'm still fantastic. I'm still Charlotte Flair. I still got it. And then you can kind of build that up and she can prove that kind of at like a Chamber match was kind of my thought. But yeah, once kind of that big spot happens and you look around, you're just like, well, it feels like Charlotte Flair. You talk about, the women's roster. It almost feels as if like they're making so much progression, but at the end of the day, like it's still the same old thing, and that leaves a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Personally.
Agreed. I agree.
But it is still Charlotte Flair. Like
it's
I'm
Charlotte Flair.
Still gonna watch. I'm still gonna enjoy the battles with her and Tiffany. Like I'm
Charlotte
still gonna,
Tiffy, dude.
Yeah.
Charlotte Tiffy. We're getting it, and we love that. We love that. Best of 3, 2 out of 3 falls, tag team championship, Motor City Machine Gun taking on DIY here. They had to follow up a Royal Rumble match, okay? The crowd wasn't very into it. The crowd didn't respond to Charlotte win, I think, as well as WWE wanted it to. So it was a uphill climb for this match from the get-go. But they put on a show. They really did. And Motor City Machine Gun would start strong. They did all their suicide dives to start the match off. We'd get it back and forth. The first pin was a little weird. It was like Gargano distracted the ref enough to where the ref didn't see that a tag wasn't made, so the ref got the wrong legal man mixed up, and Ciampa was not the legal man, but the ref didn't know that, and Shelly, who's in the ring, knew who the legal man was, so he wasn't looking after Ciampa. Ciampa high knees him in the face, gets the first pin, 1, 2, 3. So DIY is winning via some distractions and BSery, right? DIY would actually dominate after this until Shelly would have a comeback, but Ciampa starts cheating again, distracting the ref, and they even made a Kansas City Chiefs reference during this, saying that the ref was screwing Motor City Machine Guns.
Despicable.
How dare they?
I don't know who said that. Who said that?
Yeah, I think it was
Pat.
I think it was Wade Barrett.
I don't like that.
I want to say
I don't like that.
I want to say Wade Barrett.
I don't like that, Wade. You're going down in my book now.
Going down in my book. Well, he had some bad news, Sabin did hit a top rope, running crossbody off the top rope to DIY on the outside of the ring. They would end up tying the match with a skull and bones. Good stuff. And then the last third of the match happened here. Ciampa would hit a double knee backbreaker to Sabin, which looked painful as hell. 1, 2, ooh there. Motor City Machine Gun would have a big old comeback again. Hit the top rope blockbuster on him. 1, 2, ooh there. But then Gargano would accidentally super kick Tommaso Ciampa. And I was like, oh, DIY may just lose this match outright here. And Motor City Machine Gun would obviously get the best out of that when guy in a hood starts attacking one of them. I don't remember who on the outside of the ring.
He just jumps up on the
apron. But doesn't he grab one of them?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, the ref's like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
Who the hell are you?
Peel back, or the ref's focusing on him. And I think it was Sabin on the outside of the ring kind of looking at the situation like, what the hell? And then you see a crutch flying, hits him in the back. It is the Street Profits. They are back and they are healed up, basically. They're like heel, H-E-E, wrestling healed up. They're mad, and they're beating the hell out of Motor City Machine Guns, and ref doesn't see it. DIY ends up getting the best out of it, meet in the middle. They get the win. They get to keep the tag team championships, and you're like, is Street Profits working with them? No, Street Profits attack everybody after the match, so they're just involved in this. Not what we expected at all. We thought Pretty Deadly was going to get involved with this, given the last few weeks of SmackDown. We're huge Street Profits advocates. If they want to get involved in the tag team title picture, I'm all down for it. This was a fun match. I'm good with it. Popping all of it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this match as well. They had a pretty much impossible task here to go after the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Whether you like the Rumble winner or you don't like the Rumble winner, it is so hard. The crowd, the energy's there for the Rumble.
Yeah.
So they had a tough task here. But in ring, obviously, was as good as advertised as we thought this was going to be. Great match. You fast forward, you look at it. We thought maybe Pretty Deadly, some sort of interference with Pretty Deadly some way, somehow.
Yep.
So I do wonder kind of how that plays into everything, because Pretty Deadly, DIY seem like they're maybe breaking up, but Street Profits here coming back. I don't even know if like maybe a quote unquote heel turn. I would frame it as like they're done being stepped over.
They're just pissed.
They're just
pissed.
done.
I agree.
They're taking theirs. Like
I agree.
They're tired of being stepped on. They're tired of being screwed out of stuff. Like they're just going to take what's theirs, and they want those tag titles. So couldn't be more excited for that.
Love the Street Profits. Let's see more of them. Get them belts. Down with it. Them versus Motor City Machine Guns. It's going pretty good.
DIY. Or literally anybody, that tag division is stacked. So they have been gone so long that it's like, what happened to Street Profits? What happened to Street Profits? Now it's like, welcome back.
Energy was back in the house because it was time to settle the Cody Kevin Owens debacle. Long rivalry here. Ladder match. Undisputed championship. Both men relinquished their belts last week on Saturday Night Main Event, but they both had their belts coming out to the ring.
Yeah, we saw Kevin take his. I don't know when the hell Cody got
They were
his.
like, well, he took his. You want yours? Sure. Anyway, Kevin Owens would beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes for the entire, 15 first minutes of this match? I mean, they started out, they went to the outside of the ring, and a ladder fell over. And so there are those rungs that, keep your ladder apart when it's stretched out. And KO suplexed Cody right onto it and broke it, then picked it up and started beating Cody with it. And then he picked Cody up, took him into the crowd, was beating him all over the crowd. He even at one point took the camera and threw Cody's head into the camera as we're following him. I was like, well, this is cool. He set up a ladder that stretched out from the ring apron to the announce table and was throwing him off that. He got himself the hornswoggle ladder, the mini ladder, and started beating Cody Rhodes with that thing.
I do he set it up like he was going to do a swanton off it. He stands on top of it and he's like, no. I like that little troll drop from KO.
Cody would get a little bit of momentum, and he would go up and climb up real quick and try to grab the titles, but end up hanging from him. And KO would grab his feet and start swinging him with it. And when Cody got back to the ladder, KO swung his feet out, caught him while he fell, and then powerbombed him onto the ground. And then he set a ladder up in the corner, powerbombed Cody onto that, and Cody his back didn't hit it. The back of his head hit it, and his neck. Holy shit, that looked painful.
A couple of really painful stuff. Earlier in the match, Cody does a backdrop, right?
Yeah.
KO smacks the head, and scorpions kind of on that. A lot of crazy, hard hitting. That's gotta hurt.
This is one of those matches that is just hard to break down the whole thing. They spent a lot of time using steel ladders that hurt really bad to hurt each other with them during a ladder match.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy idea, I know. There was a point though when KO though would after he did that to Cody and hit him on the ladder, he started doing the Dusty Rhodes, the punches, and then he instead of doing the bionic elbow, he turned around, found a broken
rung of the ladder,
and then hit him with it. There was a top, and then he'd go to the top rope on the other side of the ring, and now they had a ladder. There was a ladder in the middle of the ring, and then there was a ladder in that ladder with the rope, and KO would go to the top rope, fisherman freaking buster, threw that to Cody through the ladder. I mean, they're just taking everything. And after that, both of them are hurt, right? I mean, that was a hell of a spot.
Yeah.
And Nick Aldis comes out, and everybody comes out, and security comes out, medical comes out to check on them. I know it's a ladder match, doesn't make much sense, but bear with me here. Sami Zayn comes out. Sami Zayn comes out. He checks on Kevin Owens first. He checks on Cody Rhodes, but he's not really getting involved. He's just with them.
He's just kind of hanging out. He doesn't really do anything so far. And
Cody and KO, they decide to kind of get up at the exact same time. And when that happens, Cody really quickly hits him with the crossroads. Boom. And so good stuff for Cody here. And Cody starts to climb, but he's climbing slow, like he's out of stamina in 2K. Kevin Owens grabs his foot and try to drag him. He's like, no, please don't go up there. Please don't go up there, basically. And Cody at this point starts to snap. He gets out of the ring, pulls Kevin Owens out of the ring, starts beating the hell out of him. At some point, he busts Kevin Owens open.
On the announce table, that covering, because KO took that announce table off. So then all those wires and everything are exposed. And Cody is just repeatedly bashing KO's head into the monitors and the wires and just that exposed table.
KO's bloody. I mean, he did the old fashioned way, bleeding out of everywhere. They go to the top of the announce table when Kevin Owens punches Cody right in his little Rhodes and just right in the nuts. And when that happens, Kevin Owens tries to go for the package pile driver on Cody Rhodes on the announce table, but Cody's like, hell no. And he reverses it, and that ladder is still wedged in between the ring apron and the announce table, which they are now standing on. And Cody picks up Kevin in the Alabama slam position, and Alabama slams KO through the ladder. Go watch this. It's the most perfect spot in ladder match history almost. I know there are better ones, but I mean, absolutely incredible.
It's the way that Kevin's head fits perfectly in the rungs and he rolls up and he folds. That's what it is.
He folds in the ladder and then he's there for the next 15 minutes of TV. He's bloody and his ass is on his head basically on the broken ladder. Cody goes, he climbs to the top. Cody Rhodes wins the match, but it's not over. Cody has snapped. Cody wins the match. He walks over stands above Kevin and Sami on the announce table. He's yelling at Kevin Owens, holding both belts. I mean, he is flat out gloating into Kevin Owens' face. Cody Rhodes is looking like he's starting to go from face to the dark side. We're starting to get some nightmare out of the American Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I love this match.
Yeah.
This match was match of the night for me.
Yeah.
I guess I had high expectations for this, and for it to deliver really says something. KO, Cody, they're both in-ring really good. I know sometimes maybe they don't get the credit they deserve. Both phenomenal. Match of the night for me, like I said, a lot of crazy bumps, a lot of oh my God, a lot of eyes shut. Like, I don't want to see this. Like, that's got to hurt sort of thing. You get the interaction with Sami there. Like, Sami kind of checks on KO, but he doesn't really do enough. But then he's also like, he sees Cody and he's like, well, you're not the same Cody, basically. Like, he's got this look on his face. You get Cody snapping. I mean, Cody alluded to it a little bit with the CM Punk stuff. You started to see a side of Cody that we haven't seen before, and I really enjoyed that. I really thought it brings depth to him as a character. And so for this to happen and for him to snap and basically just be like, I'm that guy. I told you I would do anything it took for this, and I did it, and I proved to you I'm better. Like, that was fantastic stuff. You get the shot of Kevin Owens. I mean, you mentioned it in our live stream. Like, his face is swollen, it's bruised, it's bloodied. I mean, Kevin Owens went through it this match, and just being stood over by Cody Rhodes at the end of the day, you're like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I want from this is exactly what I want from Cody Rhodes. Give me the nightmare aspect of it. Let him show emotion in this way. It's the combination of everything. It's a combination of how brutal the match was. It's a combination of so many people saying Kevin was right. So there are people who look at KO as being in the right? And then it's bloody Kevin laying there, Cody snapping, just destroying him, standing over him with the belts. I mean, Cody is done taking it from anybody. He is doing his thing. I can't wait for whoever decides to try to step up to him next. It's looking like Sami Zayn may call him out for his actions after the match or during the match and say, look, dude, you're changing, and I'm 100% here for it. Please lean into Cody turning heel sooner rather than later, because he can do it. And I think the crowd is waiting for this sort of thing from Cody Rhodes, because people are a little fatigued with the smiles and those type of promos from him. So do it.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to go obviously full blown. You can play the middle.
Yeah.
But he's obviously starting. They talked about it on the pre-show as well. Like, Cody's starting to crack under the pressure. It is a lot. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure to be that guy. All these people challenging you. You got to do the TV. You got to get up early. You got to do the late nights. You got to have all the matches. So it's really, really good. But he still shows he's still that guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes in a sense, right? Like, everybody tries to talk at Patrick, come at Patrick, and at the end of the day, like, you're just not good enough. Now, I may be regretting this in a week or so. Yeah. But, as of right now, like, it's just that guy.
It is.
It seems unstoppable at this point, but it's in a good unstoppable way.
Yeah.
If it was just a classic Cody Rhodes, I'm going to go out and kiss the babies and do the TV and my dad's Dusty Rhodes kind of match, like, wouldn't have liked it as much.
Agreed.
So all the added depth to Cody was really fantastic.
Loved it.
And that's props to Kevin Owens. I mean, without Kevin Owens, none of that happens. So
yeah, KO is the MVP of the match, but Cody's going to come out looking great, which is wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. Royal Rumble 2025 men's. Let's do this thing. We're like, who comes out first? Well, Rey Mysterio. And then we were sitting there like, which was
before we go on, Rey I understand it's Rey. The man got no pop.
Yeah, I know.
That crowd, a little disappointed.
Crowd didn't show love.
Like, damn it. But I know he's a deadbeat, but like, he's a legend. He's a legend deadbeat.
The number two guy got popped. Penta. So luchadors were squaring off right away. And when that happened, we're like, okay, well, only one guy makes sense for number three. Chad Gable. Mm-hmm. And he did. He came out. Chad came out, and he was handling the luchas by himself. He looked really good there, actually. Carmelo Hayes, your Iron Man, would eventually enter the ring at number 4. Yeah. Looks good as always. He kind of went after Penta. Him and Penta did a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right?
Him and Chad kind of teamed up a little bit here and there.
Yeah, they did. Chad and him. I mean, maybe that might be the guy that gave, who knows? Escobar comes in at 5. Escobar C, and everybody's going to be like, well, Escobar, what? They let this man 619 Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah, and for anybody who hasn't seen it, I know maybe Escobar gets a bad rap on WWE TV. Like, Escobar's stuff outside of here, like Lucha Underground stuff, especially like Rey, Penta, him, kind of a nice little like reunion. Like, that stuff is so good. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. But it was cool for Escobar to get a couple of minutes in here as well.
See. Otis would come in at number 6, and Chad's obviously in the ring. Chad would go for the ankle lock right away, but we're doing the thing with Otis and Chad, right? So Chad does something, and Otis smacks him.
Mid-Caterpillar, though.
Mid-Caterpillar, yeah.
Like he's in the middle of Caterpillar, and Chad just slides in behind him. I was like, oh, that's clean.
The best was the camera because you couldn't see Chad. And then all of a sudden he just sneaks in there. But Braun Breaker, okay, things getting serious now, number 7. He runs in that ring, and the ramp, we failed to mention, the ramp is 1.5 miles long for Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because they've sold out Lucas Oil Stadium. And
I don't know, it might be the longest one.
Yeah, it had to be. I mean, it's literally a football stadium sold out. And the ring is, 20 feet? 20 by 20? I don't know. But he sprints the entire way down the ring and spears these socks off of Mello right away. He eliminates Mello right away. Bye-bye Iron Man.
Uh-oh, there goes the Iron Man.
Then he hops up on the top rope. Chad Gable is like stunned on the top rope already. Frankensteiner to him. I mean, he's looking absolutely crazy here. He eliminates Escobar, so Escobar, no. And then Tozawa follows him up.
And you thought, oh man, if you thought Nikki Bella was a waste of an entrance, well, Tozawa, no offense. I don't want you in the Rumble.
Love you, Tozawa, but no. But Mello's pissed on the way back to the back because he just got eliminated, and he decides to take it out on old Tozawa, and he literally hits Tozawa once, like one little arm tackle to the back of the head, and Tozawa can't wrestle. He hurt. I was like, yeah, you're getting in the Royal Rumble. You don't think you can get hit?
But then they do a really cool thing.
And then one of the coolest moments of the night happened. They pick up Tozawa and they take him back to Gorilla, and the camera follows him the whole time. And Triple H is there, and he's like, Tozawa, can you go? And Tozawa's like, no, I can't go. And Triple H is like, well, who the hell are we going to do this? And he turns around, and he's like, that guy. And it's Speed. And he goes, Speed, you're in. Because Speed, the streamer, had been streaming backstage the entire time. And he's wearing a Sweet in Yeet font shirt because he loves Ronaldo. And Speed's like, you know what? Screw it. I'll go out there. And the camera follows him this entire time. A phenomenal shot of him walking out to the crowd who's popping like crazy.
I'm getting goosebumps for I Show Speed. Like for that to happen, like I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because it is cool. Him being a WWE fan, like that's every kid's dream. It follows him out like a really cool shot. The crowd, like you said, the crowd is loving it.
Here's the thing. Here's my take. If you're a wrestling fan, don't hate this. He came in at number 8. What I'm about to say happened, and he's the biggest streamer on the planet. You know how many eyeballs go to Speed? Yep. You know how many eyeballs that don't
watch? It's either
watch?
him or Kai, but Kai's there as well. You know what I mean? This just continues to grow the product to people that may not have seen it before.
Exactly. It's phenomenal, and he does something cool. He gets in the ring, and so Speed gets in the ring, and he eliminates Otis. He goes over there. Braun's trying to eliminate him, and he helps Braun, and he's like, yeah, he dabs up Braun, and then he does the suey.
And then he does a backflip.
Which
it shows his athleticism.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
I mean.
And while he's celebrating his elimination of Otis, Braun Breaker is running the ropes at 23 miles an hour. And Speed is supposed to turn to take the spear, but he doesn't fully do it. And Braun's like, you taking it, bro. And he spears the shit out of Speed. And Speed's face hits the mat so hard. But that wasn't enough. He military presses Speed up and throws him outside of the ring at Otis, who catches him and then proceeds to do a fall-away slam to the announce table on Speed. Dude took bumps. You gotta love it. Love you, Speed. That was bumps, awesome.
And like you said, it was quick. It was fun. The crowd had a reaction. It wasn't like somebody came out and everybody's like, oh, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Like that really speaks to him and his athleticism we continue to talk about. And I mean, he's made appearances before, like when Randy RKO's him, but you're just like, my respect just keeps going up.
Yeah. It was amazing. Sheamus comes in at number 9. Big Jim, number 10. Andrade, number 11, and then things get real serious again when Mr. Jacob Fatu comes in at number 11, and everybody's like, oh, shit. He stare downs Penta, and he kills absolutely everybody. He does a double Samoan drop to Rey Mysterio and Penta. Literally stacks them on top of each other, and Samoan drops both of them. He eliminates Chad. He eliminates Ray. He eliminates Andrade. And then he stare downs Braun until Ludwig comes in, and Ludwig obviously is fighting Penta right now, or wants to fight Penta.
He's being smart, though.
He's a smart man. Mm-hmm. He stands on the outside of the ring. He's like, why would I just run into the ring? If I go in the ring, I can get eliminated. If I stand on the outside of the ring, I can't get eliminated. And then he waits for his moment for Penta. Waits for it. And then he thinks he has it. And he runs in there real quick to get Penta. And then Penta eliminates Ludwig. like 5 seconds later.
Damn. I knew there was going to be a quick elimination. I had the wrong Imperium member, I guess. I thought it was going to be Vinci. A little disappointing for Kaiser to get that spot, but it kind of plays into the character, so I'll let it pass, you know.
Yeah. Miz comes in at 14. Jacob Fatu is still going crazy. Number 15, Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. We believe. It was awesome to see him. I'm so glad they did it. But they let him clean house until he met a little man called Jacob Fatu. But Jacob Fatu, Samoan drops him. But this entire time that Hendry is clearing the ring, Sheamus is chilling in the corner. And he's just watching him and he's enjoying it. And so Sheamus...
He's clapping along. The whole crowd is clapping. He's stomping, everything.
And when Fatu breaks all that up, Sheamus walks over and is like, I was enjoying that. And they start to look at each other and get pissed when... the tribal chief has arrived in the Royal Rumble. He comes in at number 16 with Paul Heyman. He immediately eliminates The Miz and Sheamus. Roman and Joe Hendry have a stare down moment. Can't believe that happened in 2025. Roman would eventually eliminate Joe Hendry. He didn't believe in Joe Hendry. And Braun Breaker would spear Roman Reigns. Roman would get right back up and they start tussling, and Roman would end up throwing Braun Breaker out of the ring, but Braun Breaker had a great showing. Good to see him.
He had a great showing, and he gives Roman a look like, yeah, maybe you got the better of me this time, but like, I'm coming.
And when that happens, Jacob Fatu eliminates Big Jim, R.I.P. And we get the Fatu Roman stare down. Things are looking real good. But Fatu would end up dominating Roman Reigns until Roman would spear him. And right when he speared him, Drew McIntyre comes out at 17. Royal Rumble is getting real heated.
Yeah, at this point, you're like, holy shit.
Drew's storming the ring because he wants some of Roman Reigns. He's like, I'm done with you. Drew and Roman, they start to trade blows. But then Fatu and Drew would end up teaming up on Roman because they both hate the man. When that happens, Finn would come out at number 18. Please give him back his theme song. His theme song hit. Nobody in the freaking arena knew who the hell it was. There was no pop for him. Give us the theme song. That was awesome. Shinsuke at number 19. Finn during this time eliminates Penta. Jey comes in at number 20. He immediately spears Drew McIntyre and he takes out Fatu, meaning he actually stands up to Fatu and gets the best of him for a minute. And then he would eliminate Shinsuke Nakamura. So Jey Uso looking real good, real quick.
Yeah, and they did before we go on, when Jey hits his entrance, he comes out and they did a really cool drone shot.
Oh my God.
The drone shots, by the way, fantastic. Drone shots were awesome tonight. But to see how over Jey is, you're like, holy hell, okay. They do love this man.
Yeah, by the way, they had more people here than they did on either day of WrestleMania last year. Just incredible. Speaking of incredible, number 21. The phenomenal AJ Styles makes his return. Glad to see him. He was facing a big-time injury, so it's good to see him back in the ring so soon because it looked like that was going to be a long-time thing. But he dominates everybody. Fatu ends up getting the best of him. That was just kind of how things worked during this point in the match. Yeah. People would look good until Jacob Fatu was like, nope, you don't get to look good anymore. Wind taken out of us for a little bit here. Braun Strowman, number 22.
In hindsight, it's a good spot to put him if you're putting him in here because of where you put him. But, I mean, before we sidebar too far, it would have been nice to have him not on screen. He just got destroyed not too long ago.
7 days ago.
You don't really, you don't gain anything. You don't lose anything if Braun is in or isn't in.
Yeah.
I understand it's another monster, but you really could have just, I don't know, give that to Oba. Or Trick or Ethan. There were no NXT call-ups for the men's.
Yeah.
And while I understand that, I feel like Oba would have been fantastic here.
Yeah, you can call me a little pissy dude here for what I'm about to say, but I hated this. Strowman kind of just walks in and immediately targets Fatu, who's had a long night and was getting beat up a little bit at the time, but he just throws Fatu out of the ring, right over the top rope. Fatu gets pissed, starts tearing up furniture on the outside.
It's like a big fail at that point because you're like, really?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Fatu dominated this match, and then Braun Strowman just walks in, picks him up, throws him out. Like, it's that simple, and it was like, okay. But it
makes you think, though, like, are they going to continue that? Because I hope not.
I hope not.
Hope not.
WWE knew you were going to be pissed because number 23, John Cena. The farewell tour.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
23.
That place exploded. They had a John Cena tribute video on before the Rumble that, like, tears right now. It was fantastic to see him. And the people who were already in the ring, it was like, dude, this is ridiculous. But he runs in the ring. He eliminates Braun Strowman because we love John Cena. And then he gets on the apron, and Finn's out there too. FU's Finn on to Braun Strowman outside the ring.
He's supposed to be on to him, but it wasn't great. But you know what? Bye-bye.
He gets back in the ring and he sees Roman Reigns and he's like, oh, I kind of like this. And they start to stare each other down, but you hear in the background, 3, 2, 1, CM Punk. So in the ring right now, you have Jey Uso, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I knew more was coming. I was like, I'm going to the next page. But Punk, Cena, and Roman have a stare down. And then Rollins joins at 25. And we're going, oh, shit. I mean, this is incredible,
this
right?
Is stacked.
Absolutely incredible. Rollins doesn't do the stare down treatment. He goes right after CM Punk. Roman goes after John Cena. Dirty Dom comes in at 26. At this point, it's the best day of my life almost because it's Dirty Dom. And he frog splashes Cena.
Right away. Just bam.
And he tries to do the Three Amigos to Roman Reigns. And Roman does not allow it, obviously. And he just uppercuts Dom right away and stomps him in the corner. And he looks at Dom like, who do you think I am? Like, you're gonna Three Amigo me?
Could you imagine?
If he got the Three Amigos on Roman? Crazy. Sami Zayn at 27. And he starts haluva kicking Drew. And then he ran over and haluva kicked Seth Rollins. But like nothing was said about it. I don't know. That felt weird to me. Like,
yeah, we thought Sammy was going to be the straw that stirs the drink, right?
Yeah.
Like the gasoline poured on the fire. I mean, you talk about everybody in this match,
yeah.
all the combustible elements. You inject Sami Zayn, who's got this person, but what's he going to do? What's he going to do? And then he just came in and he made it very apparent where he stands. So a lot of us that thought maybe you get a heel Sammy or maybe you get Sammy accidentally maybe doing something here. Didn't get it.
No, he didn't
get it.
Damian Priest comes in at 28, immediately hits an old school on Drew and a South to Heaven to Dom and then eliminates him. What the hell? Boo. LA Knight at 29. And at this point, we're all sitting there in the chat going, oh my God, it's Logan Paul at number 30. Oh my God, it's Logan Paul at number 30. And look at this. It was Logan Paul at number 30. I mean, at this point, LA Knight and Jey Uso are doing their yeet yeah trade off. But Logan Paul enters the ring. He does a double buckshot lariat into the ring to take out Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. That was nice. I mean, Duke can go a little bit here, but Drew goes to throw Sammy out of the ring and gets Sammy on the apron. And Jey Uso tries to help Sammy with a super kick to Drew. Drew moves because he's got that spider sense now. Super kicks Sammy off. So Jey eliminates Sami Zayn here. That was good stuff. But then right after this, Damian eliminates Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and it was in a weird spot where like the camera wasn't on Drew either, and it looked almost as if Priest like tripped as he was like running to go push him out or throw him out, and it just felt weird. And it was kind of just like, that's what we get. We don't get the Drew. We don't get any Drew Roman anything really.
And
right?
Speaking of the camera like had right after that like kind of panned back to Jey. And then while that was happening, you see in the corner and the camera switched really quickly. But then LA Knight eliminates Damian Priest. Like just boom, 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 boom. It's like, whoa. Yeah. We definitely thought Drew McIntyre was going to have more of a deal here with
Final
story.
4 or Final 5 of some sort. I mean, as soon as Jey super kicks Sammy, Drew's like, this guy's on my side. Like, yeah, look at that. We're basically like, he's going to come over with us. And then he's just gone.
Logan then, after doing barely nothing in the match, decides to do a save your feet spot where it's impressive. He gets on the apron and he gets shoved off and he jumps to the announce table. Ridiculous athlete, but he stands out there. He's drinking Prime. We're sitting there like, damn it. And what he does is he climbs the barricade and he waits for AJ Styles, who is loading up a phenomenal forearm. And then he jumps over from the barricade to the stairs. Great athlete, not hating on that. And then he eliminates AJ Styles.
Thinking about this, AJ's right there by the steps. You hear Logan Paul. Logan Paul is not a tiny man. That man jumps, like you said. AJ not like, what was that? AJ's not like, what's that noise?
If Cody taps the stairs, I hear it.
Yeah.
But I failed to mention AJ had eliminated LA Knight at this point. So there was that. There's a finisher fest at this point. Everybody's trading their finishers. I mean, Cena's AA and Seth Rollins is stomping. Punk hit a GTS. Roman
Superman punching.
Roman Superman punch. I mean, just a fest here, right? Fight ensues, and Roman and Seth are caught up on the ropes with each other. So like, Roman's trying to throw Seth out, but Seth's legs are wrapped around Roman's neck.
We got that great shot before we go any further of Roman and Seth They all cleared the ring in the finisher fest. And Seth's in the middle of the ring. Roman's in the corner. And you got Roman looking at Seth. And Seth's got this realization on his head that it's him and Roman. WWE, great shot as always. You're like, oh my God, we're going to get it.
Here's the thing. Roman's eliminating Seth. Punk walks over. And we talked about that Nia spot, taking the wind. Logan Paul eliminates CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins all at once. Out of the ring. Now, there is a little bit afterward. Paul Heyman is beside himself. He's doing the Paul Heyman. He's on his knees, like crying for Roman. Seth gets pissed.
Roman's yelling at Punk.
Yeah, Roman's pissed at Punk. Seth decides to starts stomping Roman Reigns. And Punk's over there, and he's fighting Seth Rollins, and everybody's going nuts.
Rollins is flipping off Paul.
Seth Rollins ends up stomping Roman onto the steel steps. CM Punk walks over to Paul Heyman. He starts yelling something at Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's like, I don't know what happened, and all this stuff. So there's drama with those three, and they just kind of end up leaving. But the final three in the Royal Rumble is Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and John Cena. Yep. That happened in the year 2025.
And at this point, before we go any further, I want to say I was a big advocate of let's not do the 31. Let's not do The Rock. But when Logan Paul came out at 30, I said, oh, God damn it. I hope we get a 31.
Me too.
I said,
Me too. Yeah, I'm completely with you. Logan Paul being 30. Jey Uso and Logan Paul start to fight. And then John Cena picks them both up to double AA them. John Cena, who's mid-40s, almost 50. Double AA. But no, Logan would get out of it. And Jey Uso would no, yeah.
Jey slid off the top.
Jey slid off the top. Logan was still on the AA, and Jey Uso super kicked Logan while being in the AA, right? And then Logan gets eliminated, so it's Jey Uso and John Cena. John Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. Jey tries to eliminate it. Jey spears John Cena. They both end up on the outside on the ring apron. You know it's WrestleMania. We need it. Or Royal Rumble. We need this. They start to go back and forth and back and forth. Jey hits him with a super kick. Cena comes back, picks Jey up in an AA. Jey slips off John Cena's shoulders and eliminates Cena. Jey Uso has won the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. How do we feel about that?
First and foremost, I would like to formally apologize to all those people that I said Jey Uso was just a mascot. Because clearly that's not the case.
Yeah.
I definitely thought that Jey had a chance to win this. Like, you're like, yeah, I could see it. It makes sense kind of with what he said on Monday. It makes sense. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him. All this stuff. Nothing against Jey here, but more specifically, I want to talk about John Cena. They did exactly what I thought they would with John Cena. They tugged on our heartstrings and they said, he's going to win this. He's going to win this. No, he's not. And I said, damn it. I knew it was coming. I still fell for it. So that played with my heartstrings. Jey winning. Obviously, we assume Gunther here. The match was fine. The Logan Paul stuff I thought was weird. I thought that was not needed. But Jey, as I talked about, you really think about it in hindsight here of somebody that was a career tag guy and kind of going on his own and just everybody following him. He gets the IC finally. Everybody's like, man, he is main event material, and you're hot, you're cold with him. You're like, what is this guy doing? Props to him. It's fantastic. You look further down the road, maybe he beats Gunther at Mania. Probably so. Then he has a title. Then he can maybe take that Roman Reigns tribal chief claim out. Maybe that's what they're going here. Shocked would probably be an understatement, though. I mean, that spot with Logan eliminating Rollins and Punk and Roman, I was like, oh my God. I did not expect that. Was really just shocked. The heavy hitters for me that we all thought maybe Final Four weren't in the Final Four.
Yeah, right. I'm happy for Jey Uso. I don't like how the match went down. I would disagree with kind of how Punk and all of them were eliminated. Logan Paul did way too much here. Him being number 30 really took the wind out of that for me. But I'm very, very happy for Jey Uso. My initial reaction was mad because you were up against my boy John Cena. And if you're going to eliminate John Cena in his last Royal Rumble, I'm going to boo you. I love it, though. All year we've been saying they need to give something to Jey. They need to give something to Jey. Like you said, we were calling him a mascot almost because he never backs his word up and he never really wins anything. The IC title run was like 1 month and you could tell it was just to establish some reason to be able to stick up to Roman Reigns. So we went a year basically of just handing Jey the IC just for that moment. Now you gave him a real solo big accomplishment that can catapult him really into the Roman Reigns stratosphere of like, Jey Uso gets to main event WrestleMania, maybe win a title, beat a prestigious champion like Gunther. Like, you've now set yourself up to really give Jey Uso everything. And I hope they do it. I really do. So while I wasn't a fan of how the Rumble went about the last 10 entries, Jey Uso coming out on top, you know what? I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been my first pick or my second pick or maybe my third pick. But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to support Jey Uso because Jey Uso, I mean, the drone shot shows it. He's over. As much as people might not like his in-ring, they still love Jey. There's actually now I feel like this right here is like a credible, hey, okay, now I can believe in you. When we called him a mascot, maybe that was unfair, but you think about it and it was like, well, there's no reason to cheer you. There's no 100%. Reason. There was no backing.
Yep.
Now it's solidified. Now there is backing. I am intrigued now to see what happens maybe with Jey and Sammy. Jey gets the win, but Jey eliminated Sammy. I am intrigued to see what we may get there.
I'm interested to see if Jey decides to go after Cody. I mean, look, it's probably going to be Gunther because he just lost to Gunther and he's going to want to prove it. And, you know, he was on Raw saying that I know I can beat him. So 99% chance he goes after Gunther, but there could be a Cody Rhodes thing there and a mutual respect championship, you know, match, something like that. And that could be interesting, but we shall see.
I think we get Jey teasing it on both shows.
Yeah.
Pretty often there. I think ultimately it is Gunther, like you said, and that's going to be a really good moment.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Now it's like, okay, now we know. I do have some more questions with some of the more solidified, I guess, stars, the Rollins, the Drew, the Roman, John, kind of like what happens. I mean, I think Cena, this is kind of how I thought it was going to happen. So it's like, well, now I'm going to have to go to the chamber and I'm going to have to win the chamber if I want a Mania match, you know. The Punk, Rollins, Roman is really intriguing the way that broke down. I don't know what the favor is. I thought the favor would maybe come more into play here than it did. The favor didn't really come into play here. Drew McIntyre got eliminated by Priest, but I always thought Drew and Roman were going together.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions going into Rumble or Mania season, and we're freaking here. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'll take it. Let's have some drama. It's WrestleMania season.
It's good to have more questions. And you, like you said, when that ring started to fill up and you look at it, you're like, oh, damn. There's this guy, and there's this guy, and there's this guy, and there's this guy. And Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker, they showed out tonight, and it just kept coming.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What a night. What a show. We got our two main eventers. So there we go. Let's have some fun with it. Let's see. Both of them are talented. Let's see what they can do. But before we sign off, I want to thank everybody again for stopping by the stream. I mean, that made my we were absolutely elated afterward. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who stopped in there. And if you want to stop in there, please do. Monday, we're right back at it. Yep. Monday, Friday, PLEs. We streaming, so we be there. Right out here on YouTube at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get your podcast at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. If you want to come talk to us, we have a link tree in our bio. It's got everything there, all of our socials. Go follow, comment on all of them. We love talking to you guys. And share the podcast. You know, that we have fun. Word of mouth is how you grow the most. Please share it. But I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time. Yeet.